we would have loved to have had Sebastian Bourdais here to join us. I think he realized, do I want to hang out to the end of the race and talk to those monkeys? No, I'm going to go out first. All
and
kidding
go to the pool.
Yeah, good Lord. Robin, I mean, we couldn't ask for better weather. We couldn't ask for a more compelling race, one where it had two distinct halves. This seemed like the perfect IndyCar opener.
Well, we've been coming here since 2003, and it was a purpose-built street circuit, and it's still one of the best because there's 2 or 3 places to pass, and I don't care. That means a lot. And our buddy Felix Rosenqvist made the pass of the race on Willpower for the lead, and there was all kinds of good passing from 2nd to 15th the whole day. So at the end of the day, I said on NBC on our pit whip, I said, Aero SPM wants to join the Big Three. Well, it's going to be another race before that happens because the Big Three kicked ass.
Wonderful reminder from Team Penske that when it comes to street courses, even though Andretti had a great year last year, I spoke with Ron Rzuski, their technical director. He just said, we came up a little short last year, so guess what we did during the offseason? Worked our tails off. Boom. 1-2 in qualifying. Great result, obviously, with a 1-3 finish there. Team Penske making a statement. Chevy as well, right? We wrote about that. Hey, not a lot of bullets in the victory gun that we can see. Step right out of the gates with another win for Chevy. They had to be happy.
Well, but you also said, as long as you got Team Penske, you got plenty of ammunition. So, Newgarden, he won 3 races last year. There's only 3 podiums he had. So you could tell he was pretty fired up to get this thing going because he just felt like he didn't have a very good season, and he won the championship 2 years ago. Willpower, he's going to be tough to beat. Pagenaud had a good race. Of course, Dixon.
Think about that. Dixie leaves St. Pete with a bunch of points.
Yeah.
We don't talk about that very often.
No.
St. Pete doesn't tend to like him. The move of the race, like beyond Felix's on-track pass, but the absolute move of the race, Team Penske saying, hey, Newgarden, if we just keep doing what you're doing, you're probably not going to get that far forward. We're going to throw a little gamble here. Mid-race, we're going to go on to the Firestone alternates, the Reds. Everyone was afraid those would degrade. So it was either we're going to go from 4th or whatever it was to victory lane, or we're going to go backwards. That was a great gamble on their part.
No, and Tim Cindric said before the race, that's what Newgarden and him talked about. Let's don't do what everybody else does. Let's try something different. I'll hang on if I got to. We'll see what happens. They had a hell of a pit stop. He wins the race out of the pits. Game, set, and match. And Dixon made it interesting because he went from 7 seconds down to right 5 car lengths away because of traffic, and nobody did anything wrong. That's just the way racing is. But thank God, because it was compelling, and we apologize for NBC viewers for the when we missed 10 laps. We had 10 laps of technical difficulties. But again, when you look at this race and you think about, Alexander Rossi finished 5th and really wasn't a factor. And he said afterwards that we really didn't have much for people. We didn't qualify that good. Ryan Hunter-Reay has the worst luck in America.
Another cartoon anvil, man.
It is.
I thought this was going to be the year where they stopped falling right out of the gate. Him and Sebastian Bourdais. Honda said they aren't totally sure. That just happened. The race is just over. They weren't completely sure what happened. We did see flames and or smoke out of the right side exhaust banks from both Bourdais' car and Hunter-Reay, so we know it was something internal. For sure.
And give Seb props because he said, I think it was something in the throttle linkage or something. Or the gear linkage or something. He's a good Honda man.
What about rookies, Robin? Obviously Rosenqvist, which we have separate interviews with him and Santino Ferrucci and Colton Herta, but this to me was a day where IndyCar's next generation drivers, they made a statement.
I've said it in the mailbag, and I said it in the NBC production meeting. I said before the race, I think Rosenqvist is going to win at least 1 race, maybe 2. Hell, I changed it to 3. And Colton Herta had a hell of a race. Didn't fall out of the seat. He said he was really tired afterwards, but so was everybody else. This beat the hell out of people. 1 caution and 110 laps on an 82-degree day. And Santino did a really nice job for Dale Coyne. Jack Harvey from Meyer Shank qualified great, 7th. Ran in the top 10 all day and finished 10th. They got 9 more races. That kid run races in Indy Lights. It was just, the Big Three dominated, but it was a good day for the little guys.
Made me really happy to see for us. So at least, folks, if they were thinking we were blowing smoke the last couple of years, you and I have been saying nonstop, this Rosenquist kid is for real. Again, he kind of saved our bacon. We weren't concerned, but he did save our bacon by leading. Again, that is an amazing pass to make right on Will Power, who owns this joint.
And he led 31 laps, and I said on TV he lost the race in the pits. But we're not all blaming it on a pit stop. He had good pit stops. He missed he overshot the box a little bit once, and he told you that
trouble engaging the gear. Couple first race.
But it's his first pit stop.
First race in IndyCar.
And I'll tell you what, Ricky Davis and his crew are so excited. He's got them so jacked up because he never, you interviewed him a lot, and he never changed his expression. Good, bad, yeah, it was a pretty good day. It was funny. He goes, I could have done a better job. I got to get faster here and do that, which is the same thing you told him at the test when he ran faster than Scott Dixon at Mid-Ohio. Yeah, that wasn't a fluke.
Felt bad for Ed Jones, right? He was really looking strong in his debut for Ed Carpenter Racing in Scuderia Corsa. Little mistake, got himself into the wall on the backside of the track. And then Mateus Lace, poor kid, wrong place, wrong time. Zach Veach almost got taken out there, but felt bad for Ed knowing that, his debut season in 2017 with Dale Coyne, very impressive. We really thought last year with Ganassi was going to be a continuation. Wasn't so much the case. It's great for him. You could say stepping back just a little bit to ECR and being able to really impress with them until he had that unfortunate problem.
I think as long as you're going forward and you're running good, Ed's a racer, and those guys they don't mind. They don't mind putting the car back together. You're running 20th, they mind.
What else surprised you in terms of not necessarily who was up front, but maybe some teams that we thought might have better races, better debuts, but did not?
Well, we just saw Brian Herta. Marco Andretti is going to win a race this year. And I know people are going, what's about time? But, he got hosed in qualifying when the fuel line came off. He starts in the back, charges to the front, has a flat tire. And, you'd look at the race and guy you're in 12th or 13th or 14th, whatever it was, and you're another. But believe me, he showed the speed again this weekend in practice. And who knows where he would have qualified, but you watch him in the race, he was as fast as anybody. So I think it was a disappointment for that team but I think he handled the situation. I was talking to Ronaldo, his crew chief, and he's like, he didn't throw tantrums. He said, those things happen, everybody makes mistakes, we'll get him next week. And good for him, good maturity, and I just think he's overdue to win a race. We know that, but he's going to win one.
Special mention to Carlin Racing and Charlie Kimball. Charlie had a little error there where he damaged the front wing, but until that point, qualified strong, was running 8th, I believe. And again, Charlie, we know, can pedal a car when things are working well, but this is the same Carlin Racing last year that more often than not, as a debuting team, rookie team, couldn't really get out of their way. Awesome to see year 2. We've also been telling folks, hey, they made some improvements. Cool to see that. What about Ben Hanley and our boy Elton Julian and Dragon Speed? Didn't do anything crazy, but they had a quality finish.
You know what? He fell back, as you expect. It's his first race, but he hung in there the first 10 laps or so. Never hit anything, brought it home in one piece for their debut. I think Elton's got to be thrilled.
All right, brother, take us home. Give us some final thoughts.
You've been to COTA, I haven't. You were at the test, I wasn't. And if IndyCar can put on a good show at Barber, which they do, I think it's going to be a hell of a show at COTA.
I think this is just going to be an amazing year. Everyone is so close. Even the rookies are running very competitively. That's the thing I'm looking forward to most. We don't know what's coming. We don't know who's going to win every race. It is so tight. There's so little separation that truly it feels like almost anybody can win. We're not always able to say that in IndyCar.
No, that's the best thing about it. You really don't know who's going to win the race before it starts. And I think one of the highlights for me of the weekend was Roger Penske. Mr. Penske. Oh no, just 2 minutes. Just 2 minutes. Just 2 minutes. Now, I told Rick Mears this morning, Roger Penske's 82 years old. He's won everything you can win. He's made himself a rich man because he's the smartest guy I've ever met.
He's younger than you, then.
He actually cheered and screamed when Will Power won the pole. And I said, he still has so much enthusiasm for this stuff.
Well, that's why we come out here. I say this is my golf game and fishing trip every weekend, so I want to see you guys for sure.
Yeah,
oh, well,
I know.
We appreciate that, Lai. Just quickly before you go, RP, IndyCar team feeling a little bit of pressure. Your Cup team found victory lane. Your Australian Supercar team found victory lane. don't know, you're getting a little greedy, RP. All three winning this early in the year.
Well, listen, that's what we came here for.
Okay.
You know that. But the guys did a great job. When you look at the qualifying 1-2, and then with certainly Newgarden and Will was there. Great run by the 10 car Rosenquist, and of course the guy you got to beat every year finished second. So
Sure.
early in the season, we'll see what happens.
All right, Roger Penske, he's going for number 18 at Indy this year. Here's a special thing for you racer fans. I've talked to Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and if he starts last in all three cars in the last row and wins, he gets $1 million bonus.
Is that from you?
That's from me.
All right, so we almost killed Roger Penske. We had to edit that part out, and that'll stay off the interweb. But take us home, Robin. Where should we go? Should we say farewell? What should we do?
You're on your way to Sebring, and that if Sebring's anything like Daytona was, it ought to be a hell of a sports car race, and then I'm going to hook up with you again at COTA.
Is there a particular channel that IMSA race might be on?
Yeah, I think it's on NBC Sports Network.
There we go.
Yeah, and the good news is the Canadian fans got the free streaming today. Sorry about those 10 laps.
And we apologize to Canadian fans who must have been thinking, so wait a minute, first we get hosed on the TV deal, then you tell us we get free streaming, and then there's problems with the free streaming. But anyways.
But the good news is 8 races are free on NBC, so that's one good thing, including the Indy 500 in Toronto. So we're going to work on it. All right. Thanks for watching. RACER.com and reading all his stories and videos. Oh, you can't read a video. Watching his videos.